Today's project is to replace a exhaust fan motor in this small little powder room. Uh, Basically, I've turned on and off the light switch and it hasn't started running. So it could be one of two things. It could be the motor on this thing, or it could be the light switch. It'd be weird if it was both, but I think it's the motor on this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it. I took it down from the housing in the ceiling there. I'm going to plug it in to see if it actually runs down here in one of the outlets, and then if that's the case where the motor's bad, then I'll show you how to replace it. I went and tested out the motor in the outlet here and it didn't work, so I went ahead and came prepared for this job by purchasing a whole new motor itself. You can buy just the actual motor itself without the housing that you're going to see in this box, but I find two things. One, it's actually cheaper to buy the whole housing with the cover and everything like that, and then you also have the ability to have a replacement vent cover, because the one that they have here actually is broken. The little clips that hold it up onto the ceiling. So it's kind of a double advantage of getting the motor as well as that vent cover. What you can find when you take and open up the box and pull out this housing is that this this motor mount here is kind of tucked into the housing itself, and you need to kind of pry it out, and that way you get it free from that housing, because what we're ideally looking to do is kind of just steal this motor from this housing and put it up in there. Sometimes you're lucky in that this actual motor mount will actually stick in there, but sometimes you actually have to take the motor off of this thing and then put it onto the old housing. So you're doing a little bit of like Frankenstein action, taking parts from one thing, putting it in another to make the thing finally work. Looks like it is the old motor in here that's bad, and so I'm going to see if this thing will fit in there. If not, I'm going to have to kind of, rob Peter to pay Paul and make this thing happen. Okay, so fortunately that job was just as easy as that. It is the same manufacturer, so it fits in there perfectly. I just finished putting in the exhaust fan motor, and I'm pretty happy with it. Rather than going and having to cut open the ceiling to replace the whole housing, I just went ahead and replaced the motor. So think about that on projects like this, because it took very little time and I didn't have to compromise the ceiling itself and then have to paint it and put 3 or 4 hours into this project. It was only basically about 22 bucks. So that's today's Mr. Fix-It tip.